All right, welcome to Sunset News. I am Ashwin Berry here to bring you the news, community stories, weather, economic news, and much more on this Thursday evening. Getting into the news stories tonight. The Kavango Zambezi Transfrontier Conservation Area has launched its new destination brand Rivers of Life during the Khaza Heads of State Summit in Livingstone, Zambia. According to a statement issued by Khaza, the unveiling of the new tourism destination brand marks a pivotal moment in the region's journey towards promoting conservation, sustainable tourism, and community empowerment. The Khaza TFCA covers almost 520,000 square kilometers in Angola, Botswana, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. According to Khaza, the new brand embodies the region's rich biodiversity, iconic wildlife, vibrant cultures, and the life-giving rivers that connect it all. Today marks a defining moment for conservation and sustainable tourism in Africa, said the executive director of the Khaza Secretariat, Dr. Nyambe Nyambe. He said that the Rivers of Life brand embodies their unwavering commitment to preserving the extraordinary natural and cultural heritage of the Kavango Zambezi ecoregion. Now, Nyambe said that it is an invitation to the world to join them on a transformative journey where the power of unity and collaboration knows no boundaries. Tourism Minister for Namibia, Pohamba Shifeta, had the following to say during the launch yesterday evening.
Thank you very much. Khaza being the largest trans-frontier conservation area in the world has to have a brand, its nation. And that is what we just said, pinch our signatures for. And we need to make sure that the world knows about this very important destination and the brand, trademark that Khaza emerged to have, and a very beautiful trademark that will remind the world that there is a very beauty that the world has not experienced before, and also experience it, they still have to come back. That's because of that brand now, that trademark. Thank you very much.
The Namibia Food and Allied Workers Union has accused the management of OK Foods at the Rundu branch of breaching a settlement agreement by suspending 109 workers who were involved in a recent protest over low salaries. The affected workers, led by NAFAU, expressed their dissatisfaction and demanded immediate action to resolve the issue at a press conference in Rundu today. NAFAO's Secretary General Jacob Penda said the suspension of the workers directly contradicts the terms of a settlement agreement signed by both parties on 23 May, following a strike that began on 13 May. The agreement included a $390 Namibian salary increase for the workers who had initially faced an offer of zero from the employer. In the suspension letter seen by Namibian Sun, the management informed workers that they are suspended with full remuneration pending investigation and the finalization of potential formal disciplinary action. The reason for the suspension is that we are investigating prima facie serious misconduct committed by yourself, being involved in an unprotected illegal strike action, intimidation of the employer, and breach of common law duty to act in good faith and in the business interests of the employer, the letter read. Penda explained that the strike rules, which were signed voluntarily by both parties, outline the actions to be taken by both workers and employers during the strike.
We reached the deadlock. We set up to sign the rules of the strike, which were being signed by both parties voluntarily. Agree to the rules and sign it voluntarily, and the strike rules indicate all the processes, what should be done by the workers during the strike and what should be done by the employer during the strike. So the strike has been embarked on the 13th May and was being resolved on the 23 May. Resolved through the settlement agreement. The settlement agreement party has been agreed to what will be the new benefit or salary for the workers. that resulting the employees to be given the $390 at the time we resolve the strike. But at the time we start the strike, the employer were having zero on the table. Now the agreement has been resolved or dissolve the strike.
Continuing with our top stories, the Minister of Urban and Rural Development, Erastus Uthoni, announced a $14.2 million Namibian project to install high-mast lights in Windhoek's informal settlements. He further emphasized on prioritizing the development of informal settlements.
In the future, when you get old, your children are well taken care of. And this is what we need to take into consideration. So I'm appealing now to those who are alongside the road that is to be constructed to cooperate, to render your cooperation. The Ministry of Urban and Rural Development is prepared if you happen to get a land. Your Worship, please prepare a land where these people are removed so that we can also provide and add money to provide services. I've already spoken to him last week. Was it last week? Last week, Friday, I told him we are ready to support. As long as we are cooperating, then we can work together and then we can service a land. And you'll be one of the luckiest person to be given a land. He just do you understand what I'm saying? Boy, Governor Mecha, how can I say it in Afrikaans?
Now, in the last of our top stories, the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources, together with the municipality of Walvis Bay, has agreed to host World Ocean Day from 7 to 8 June at Independence Beach. The event, held under the theme Ocean Climate Action, aims to raise awareness about the importance of oceans and marine life. The event, celebrated internationally on 8 June annually, seeks to promote ocean conservation efforts and encourage sustainable management of marine resources. Derek Claassen, Minister of Fisheries, emphasized the significance of the day, stating that it aims to promote oceans conservation efforts and encouraging sustainable management of marine resources. This is to inspire all individuals and communities worldwide to take action in protecting marine life, he said. Claassen further noted that World Ocean Day focuses on a specific theme each year to highlight key ocean issues and promote meaningful action. Stay with Sunset News as we keep bringing you the top stories stemming from Namibia.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
All right, let's get into the economic news. Ultimate Safaris will, on the 3rd of June, hand over dividends generated from 2,255 shares, now worth $4 million Namibian, to their long-serving employees and shareholders in the newly formed Ultimate Safaris Tribe Trust. The handover will be officiated at one of Ultimate Safaris tourist destinations, Galton House Urban Retreat in Eros, with Ultimate Safaris Chief Executive Officer Tristan Cowley gracing the event. In a statement issued earlier this week, the company company said that among the 4 long-serving employees rewarded shares in 2022 by Ultimate Safaris is Francis Fries, who joined the company in 2008. Fries held the roles of sales consulting, reservationist, and administration at Ultimate Safaris head office in Windhoek. She is now the administration and debtors manager. Another employee also rewarded shares is Alphonse Kaura, who joined them in 2012 at the head office. Kaura has worked himself up from a junior to intermediate and then a senior consultant. He is now the sales manager. Tobias Naholo started as a night porter at Galton House in Windhoek in 2012. He has since held various roles at Galton House and other camps of Ultimate Safaris such as Kuaba Under Canvas and Camp Doros situated in Damaraland. He is now the head chef at Camp Doros and assistant camp captain. Affectionately known as Angie, Adeline Mulonga joined Ultimate Safaris as a housekeeper in 2011 at Galton House. She has worked her way up to becoming a housekeeping trainer who goes around Ultimate Safaris' various properties training housekeepers, and she is now the head housekeeper. All right, good to Ultimate Safaris as they are distributing $4 million Namibian dollars in dividends to employees. Let's have a look at the indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 18.58 next to the US dollar, with 23.61 Namibian dollars getting you a British pound. 20.12 Namibian dollars means you can get a euro, and for 1 Chinese yuan, that's 2.57 Namibian dollars. Gold is currently trading up 0.27%, that's $2,344.80 US dollars an ounce, whilst copper, Brent crude oil and platinum made some downturns. Stay with us as we have a look at Triumphant College's graduation in Story of the Day.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
All right, Professor Geoffrey Kiyangi, Rector of Triumphant College, congratulated the graduates at the institution's 18th graduation ceremony. 1,125 students graduated at the institution's most recent conferment of certificates, diplomas, and degrees earlier today.
It is with profound joy and a deep sense of pride that I welcome you all to Triumphant College's 18th graduation ceremony. Today, we celebrate the remarkable achievement of 1,125 students who have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge spanning across certificates, diplomas, and degrees. Each of you graduates stand as a testament of the transformative power of education and the boundless potential that education unlocks. As Kofi Annan once eloquently said, knowledge is power, information is liberating, education is the premise of progress in every society and every family. This powerful statement underscores the elevating impact of education on individuals and societies. Today, you, our graduates, are armed with this formidable weapon. You are the change makers, the innovators, and the leaders of tomorrow, ready to contribute meaningfully to the fabric of our society. Thus, your education is not just a personal achievement, but a foundation for contributing to broader societal achievement. Triumphant College, now celebrating its 18th year, has itself undergone significant growth and transformation. From humble beginnings, we have evolved into an institution of repute with the current enrollment of about 7,000 students. Our journey mirrors the resilience and adaptability that we strive to instill in our students. As an integral part of the government in socio-economic activities, we are committed to aligning our programs with the developmental needs of our country.
Now, the first results have been announced from what is seen as South Africa's most closely fought elections in 30 years. This story takes us into international news after the break.
Are you tired of just hanging around at home while waiting for something to do? Check out eticket.diary.my.na for what's hot on the social scene across the country. Or if you're arranging an event you'd like us to feature, contact Jareen at we.com.na. We can sell your tickets too.
Let's get into international news. The first results have been announced from what is seen as South Africa's most closely fought elections since the African National Congress came to power 30 years ago. With results from around 20% voting districts counted earlier, the ANC was leading with 44%, followed by the DA with 25%. The EFF was about 9%, while the Umkhonto weSizwe party of former President Jacob Zuma around 8%. Final results are expected over this weekend. The initial results suggest the ANC will lose its parliamentary majority for the first time since Nelson Mandela led the party to victory following the end of the racist system of apartheid. The respected Council for Scientific and Industrial Research and the News 24 website have projected that the party's final vote could be around 42%, down from 57% it obtained in the 2019 election. The initial results showed that the ANC is suffering heavy losses to MK, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, where Zuma's party is leading with 43% of the vote to the ANC's 21%. Now, Zuma caused a major shock when he announced in December that he was ditching the ANC to campaign for MK. KwaZulu-Natal is Zuma's home region and the province with the second highest number of votes, making it crucial in determining whether the ANC retains its parliamentary majority. Now, although Zuma has been barred from running for parliament because of a conviction for contempt of court, his name still appeared on the ballot paper as MK leader. If MK wins KwaZulu-Natal, it would be a major upset and heralds the potential decimation of the ANC in the province. Political analyst William Gumede told the BBC. The ANC also risks losing its majority in the economic heartland of Gauteng, where the party currently has 36% to the DA's 29%. Now, Wednesday's election saw long lines of voters outside polling stations late into the night across the country. The key issues for voters were widespread corruption in government, high levels of unemployment, and rampant crime. One electoral official in Johannesburg told the BBC the queues were reminiscent of the historic 1994 election, when black people could vote for the first time. The main opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, has signed a pact with 10 other parties, agreeing to form a coalition government if they get enough votes to dislodge the ANC from power. But this is highly unlikely, with the ANC expected to remain the biggest party, putting it in pole position to lead a coalition if its support does drop below 50%. Well, we'll certainly be keeping an eye on that. As we said, results will be trickling in over the weekend. Now, Iran has begun the formal registration of presidential candidates ahead of a snap vote next month to replace the late Ibrahim Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash earlier this month. The election was originally slated for next year, but was brought forward to June 28 following Raisi's death on May 19th. Presidential hopefuls will have 5 days to register, IRNA added. Raisi and 7 members of his entourage large, including Foreign Minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian, were killed when their aircraft came down on a fog-shrouded mountainside in northern Iran. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has since assigned Vice President Mohammad Mokber, 68, as caretaker president in accordance with the constitution. Now, today, state media reported that around 30 people came forward to submit applications for candidacy, but none of them met the basic conditions for qualification. The AFP news agency reported that former reformist lawmaker Mustafa Kavakebian and conservative parliamentarian Mohammad Reza Sabagian submitted their applications to the Ministry of Interior. Candidates must be between the ages of 40 and 75 and have at least a master's degree, according to Iran's electoral law. As in previous election cycles, the main candidates representing Iran's leading political camps are likely to submit their applications closer to the end of the registration process. Among those reported to be considering a run is Saeed Jalili, a conservative politician who once served as the chief nuclear negotiator under President Mohammad Ahmadinejad, as well as Mohsen Hashemi Rafsanjani, son of former President Akbar Hashemi Rafsanjani. Former Parliament Speaker Ali Larijani and political ally of former President Hassan Rouhani is also reportedly being asked to run. Mokber, the caretaker president, could also file his candidacy. The final list of candidates will be announced on June 11 by the Guardian Council, a 12-member body of jurists whose members are either appointed or approved by the Supreme Leader. We'll certainly be looking forward to seeing how Iran approaches those elections, considering the conditions that have brought them about. Now, 14 Hong Kong pro-democracy activists were found guilty and 2 were acquitted on Thursday, today, in a landmark subversion trial that critics say could deal another blow to the city's rule of law and its reputation as a global financial hub. The verdicts in Hong Kong's biggest trial against the democratic opposition come more than 3 years after police arrested 47 Democrats in dawn raids at homes across the city. They were charged with conspiracy to commit subversion under a national security law imposed by China. Sentencing will come at a later date for those found guilty, with prison terms ranging from 3 years to life. 31 defendants pleaded guilty and 4 of them have become prosecution witnesses. The US and some other countries have criticized the trial as politically motivated, calling for the accused to be immediately released. Diplomats from several countries, including Britain and the European Union, attended the hearing. Australia has expressed strong objections to the Hong Kong authorities on the continuing broad application of national security legislation to arrest and pressure pro-democracy figures. You're still with Sunset News. We'll swing over to the weather soon. It's looking sunny across the board, but all locals will tell you it's much chillier than it seems. Looking at Windhoek, 8 degrees Celsius minimums expected. So yeah, that looks like it feels. Oshakati and Enana rather on 11 degrees Celsius minimums. Henties Bay is cloudy along with Keetmanshoop, Ludritz, Ariansvlei and Oranjemund. It is a little chilly in most parts of the country, slightly warmer in Aranos and Mariento. Let's swing over to the sports desk as Ari Hochad brings us the latest.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with golf news. First, it is the US Open for women that will start on Thursday. The final round in the 4th round will be played on Sunday. It's a major championship and one of the big ones of the year. The favorite for this tournament is American as well. That is Nelly Korda. She won 6 of the last 7 tournaments that she started. So she's definitely the favorite to win the tournament, but there's going to be lots of competition for her. Also, some of the players in form is Lilia Vu. Also, Lexi Thompson, that is showing good form, and then Leona Maguire of the United Kingdom. They all can contend for the US Open. It's being played at the Lancaster Country Club. That golf club is in Pennsylvania. Southern African interest, only 2 players that qualified for the Open. That is Ashley Buhai. She's an experienced player. She also won the British Open a few years ago. And then also Cassandra Alexander. She also qualified. She's also from South Africa. That is for Southern African interest. Continuing international sports news with soccer news, and it is the coach Vincent Kompany that was confirmed as the new coach of Bayern Munich, the German club. It is Vincent Kompany that's 38 years old, and he was awarded a 3-year contract with Bayern Munich. Previously, or this year, it was Kompany that was the coach of Burnley in the English Premier League, but they didn't have a good season and they got relegated. Previously, Kompany also coached Anderlecht, the Belgium team, and he coached them to a cup final in 2022. Not a good season for Bayern Munich this year. They finished third on the log, and they won the previous 11 seasons, and this year it was Bayer Leverkusen that won the Bundesliga title. And closing off today's international sports news, it is tennis news from Roland Garros, the major taking place in Paris. And firstly, on the women's side of the draw, it is number 1 seed Iga Swiatek that almost lost a second round game, but in the end she won a tough game against Naomi Osaka. She beat her 7-6, 1-6 and 7-5, and also had to fight back from a match point down and also 5-2 down in the third set.
From me, Ashwin Berry and the Sunset News team, don't end your day without us.